What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come at you guys. Well, not really with a market watch, but with the market watch. You know, it's really weird seeing the past, I'm going to say even week or two. 2 weeks. We'll say 2 weeks. The entire state of the game. I mean, you can go ahead and buy cards, but we already know what's the best deck. And coming out soon with the new support, we're going to know what's going to be the next best deck. And a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players within the secondary market are kind of bored. They're wondering, V, what do we do now? The meta's kind of set. You buy X amount of cards, you get X amount of decks, you get X amount of results, and it's kind of boring. What else can we do? Now, me personally, like I said, I like this meta. I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm going to be looking at Remote Duel Stream again now that we have the new ban list, so we don't have to play Mystic Mine. So it's going to be really fun. Do I play Flunderies or Telements? Comment down below, let me know. One thing I am looking forward to is the One Piece trading card game. Now, it's by Bandai, and if you guys never caught the video, I made a video not long ago talking about Dragon Ball Super and how since it's done by Bandai, Bandai's going to do Bandai things to Dragon Ball Super. Fast forward to where we are now, and it's kind of at that point. But I think One Piece is a lot different. I think One Piece having over 1,000 episodes, One Piece having more and more episodes constantly. I mean, Bandai, for the most part, is going to take a while to milk this horse. And I think it'll get milked eventually. Now, the thing about that is, I don't really care. I actually still like One Piece a lot. Just like Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. But the difference is, with One Piece, I can have my decks, I can build them, and they're not really expensive. The cool thing about Bandai, one of the very few cool things about Bandai, is how awesome it is to see them go ahead and release something like One Piece. Have a card that's Nami, like this one over here. It's roughly around $200. And you go, V, that's insane. But they also have the regular version, which is $2. $2 by the way. Of course, once again, it's Bandai, so they reprint things to hell and high water, and this Nami is already destined to get a reprint. Actually talking about a reprint coming out beginning of next year of the same exact Nami card. So, yeah, this might be the most wanted card today, but beginning next year, it won't be because it's going to be another reprint, another chaser card, which will obviously lower the value of this Nami card right here. I still like One Piece. I think it's really cool. I still watch the show. I'm still catching up because who hasn't? But it's really cool that they're coming out with a card game. I'm looking forward to playing it. The question is, do I make content on this channel for One Piece, or do I make content on another channel for One Piece? That's really the only question. I'm debating on it. I really don't know, and I'd love to know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. Another thing is, I always read your comments. I love reading your comments. And some of your comments was 5 hours ago, the video doesn't have 1,000 views, rip. That's from a buddy of mine, Tazaful Islam, and he's been watching the channel for a while. But not long enough, evidently, because in times with this channel, there are times where I'll do videos, I'll get like 2,000 views, and there's times I'll do videos and I'll get like 5,000 views. The views are really dependent on the market, how players are excited towards the market. And the players aren't excited towards the market, the channel more likely gets less views. It happens. Not that big of a deal, but it happens. It goes up and down. With the first year or two, I really had no idea, and I was trying to figure out ways to like get more content onto my channel. And then I realized it just goes up and down like a roller coaster. And that's kind of how the content works. So response with the computer set up in the back, I highly doubt he's doing it for the money. Yeah, no, I don't do any of this shit for the money. I really wish I did, because evidently the YouTubers that do it for the money are just, from what I've been told, are making great money. Then again, that's why they have their little family-friendly content, and the last goddamn thing I'm going to be is family-friendly. Don't get me wrong, I'm a father. I'm probably one of the very few YouTubers that's a father of 5 children, but family-friendly for Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes no sense when you really think about it. This game is not for 9 and under. You gotta be a dumbass to think that. It's not. Little Johnny is not going, gee, Grandpa, for Christmas, can I get tier limits? Sure, 8-year-old Johnny. Let me get butt-fucked by Konami to get you this stupid-ass deck that's gonna be around for a while. That sounds like a good plan. Like, it's not gonna happen. You know, it's just ridiculous. But Konami still pretends this from younger players. They don't do not a damn thing to get new younger players, Konami. You don't. So why are we pretending this game's free? It makes zero sense. I will say, once again, I'm a father of 5, if anyone does not know. My kids are probably gonna start playing the Pokemon trading card game. They already started. I have two of my sons who are actually have meta decks. They play the Pokemon trading card game, and we practice a lot. And I'm looking forward to taking them and going to the circuits and playing. In Pokemon trading card game, you can earn enough points to automatically get involved in worlds, to compete in worlds. And if you're younger, it's less points. If you're older, it's more points. Unlike Konami, that makes you grind non-stop and play in a Swiss tournament, 60-man Swiss tournament, where the thirstiest of thirsty Yu-Gi-Oh players trying to thirst you out of a win. It's fucking wild. The point system in Yu-Gi-Oh Worlds is a joke and a bad one at that. I don't know who made that up, but they need to fix that today. It's embarrassing. With that said, though, I think it's really cool that Yu-Gi-Oh players still want to go, hey, V, what's going on with content? Because I still get views. People still watch the channel. And of course they do. Why would they not? The secondary market's insanely important. In times when the market is kind of dead like it is now, it's even more important because that's where the real gems are. That's where nobody's really looking at. Everyone's so focused on the current meta, they don't understand the gems underneath their feet. They have zero idea. And a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players understand that. Now, I'm going to have more market watch coming out. I'm definitely going to be talking about more gems that are absolutely massive. I think it's important to note this for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players who might not understand the fact that there is so much value in this game. But more importantly, there's value in something else that I've been hiding for a long while, up until this exact moment. It started around last ban list when I saw that Mystic Mine was not coming off the ban list. That we got it, but we was waiting for that ban list to come, but Mystic Mine was coming off the ban list for the most part. And I realized, wait a minute, Konami's done this in the past many times. There's many times where Konami has kind of screwed over the Yu-Gi-Oh player base by just saying, nope, we're not going to unban this card, we're going to unban this card, and the format continues to be stale. It's happened several times, to be honest with you. So what are we going to do about that? Well, alternative Yu-Gi-Oh formats. EDISON format's really important. It ain't like GOAT format, where GOAT format's a lot slower, crazy slower. It's basically what I consider a broken format. EDISON is the opposite. There is a ton of decks you can play. And yes, there is a tier list of decks, but that tier list is constantly being challenged by other decks in the game. EDISON format's also a great way for Yu-Gi-Oh players to get involved in buying a deck and not spending more money on that same exact deck. That's right. Market watch for EDISON format can happen, but not necessarily to the point where we can do it consistently due to the fact that you have a set deck. You buy Blackwings, you own Blackwings. I can't sell you on any more Blackwing cards. I can always tell you what's a higher revenue Blackwing card, but you can CG player look up yourself. Up to you, though. EDISON has a massive following, by the way. The size of the events, 183, 197, 207 players. I mean, there's a ton of players playing EDISON right now. A lot. And back then when I realized that, I slowly started working towards buying EDISON decks myself. I have a couple, and yeah, I didn't get a chance to max rarity them, but then again, I think Konami was so stupid to put the meta where it is currently right now, where it's just so degenerative. You're playing literally Flunderies, or you're playing tier limits. There's other decks, but for the most part, those are the main choices. And I think this is going to happen again and again and again. Now, the cool thing is, Konami actually knows that there's going to be times in the game where this can happen. They themselves have an understanding of this. So they release Time Wizard format, a way for locals to run EDISON events at your locals. The crazy thing about this is, this might actually birth an alternative Yu-Gi-Oh format that we actually wanted. We don't care about Generation Duels. We don't. But V, I like Generation Duels, says the guy nobody's listening to because nobody cares about it. We don't care about Speed Duels, even though it was fun. The concept was killed when the creator came out and said it's meant for new Yu-Gi-Oh players. Are you fucking high? No, it's not, bro. Like, someone shut that guy up. Then again, he wound up leaving the company. It's meant for EDISON format is meant for Yu-Gi-Oh players who have been playing this game for a while that want to secure themselves a deck and sit back and enjoy that format. Not needing to have to buy and pay tithe to Konami. No more of that. It's meant for Yu-Gi-Oh players that want to get involved, have their deck, and whenever it's an EDISON format, they can just grab it and not have to ask what's the current meta. It's already been set. They could go sit down and play against other Yu-Gi-Oh players and relax and enjoy the game. And I think that's really important for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players right now who are kind of bored of the current TCG meta. Where the TCG still has a fun format, it's called EDISON format. And yes, once again, Go format may not be bigger. I would argue it's not, but I mean, it's dying. Look at the numbers. Go format is dying, and EDISON format is increasing rapidly. At the last YCS, the one in Pasadena, I believe it was, they had over 300 players playing in EDISON format. 300. The YCS was roughly around a couple of thousand. But for 300 players to come to play at this one format that's supposed to not even be a big deal, it was a side event, Konami had to reallocate staff in order to run that format. That's how big EDISON format is. It's massive. Now, why am I telling you all this? Why am I discussing this with you? Should I be greedy and be quiet and buy all the EDISON format cards and then talk about it? Yeah, I thought about that, and don't get me wrong, part of me wants to not upload this video. But let's be honest with you, if no one's really watching, hopefully, no one's going to really understand the fact that this is probably going to be the next big thing. Konami knows it, by the way. They're not dumb. They went ahead and printed cards like Value, the Emblem of Honor, which is usually one of the best EDISON decks in Battle's Legend Crystal Revenge. And you can say, wait a minute, V, they did it because of the Blacklist support. Oh, yeah. The Blacklist support is dominating the TCG meta, right? Man. Looking over at EDISON format, there's several decks. This is the top cut decks. And yeah, once again, Value Turbo was recently a dominant deck, but that just got changed by a new Fairy deck that's just ripping everybody apart, which is really cool to see. Which is going to challenge these Value decks to play cards like Icarus Attack. Once again, really fun, interactive Yu-Gi-Oh! And it has the old priority rules, and the player goes first gets to draw a card. That may or may not be a plus, you let me know. Once again, the cool thing about EDISON format is the fact that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players can actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! And not be restricted by only having to play one or two decks. They can play multiple decks. Konami tried being cute and making a Starlight Red Blackwing Armmaster, and the value tanked. And the reason why is because Konami's trying to get involved in EDISON format where they're making secondary cards. Once again, they make these lists months in advance, but even Konami knew months ago that EDISON format was going to be real. This is why they made this card. It's not using TCG Yu-Gi-Oh! This is using EDISON format. It's dominant. They need at least two of these in your Blackwing deck. And looking at it right now, the value of this card is roughly around $110, and it's tanking. I mean, it is tanking in the past month. The card went from a price point of $202 to where it is right now. It is falling so hard. Ultimate Rare Blackwing Armmaster, by the way, first edition is $85. $85. And you can tell over here, it's not really going anywhere. This is the past 3 months, by the way. So I think Konami knows that they want to get involved in EDISON format. They can reprint a ton of cards in EDISON format so they can make money to you, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Player base. They can run Yu-Gi-Oh! Events now in a sub-format. Like, there's a lot of meat on the bone of a secondary Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. We've been talking about this for years, and I think Konami's slowly getting the picture. They realize Gold format is kind of old and dainty, and certain players still play it, and no one wants to really play the newer formats when they get really degenerative, like the currently how they've been recently with, like, Cyflock, Mystic Mind, and Telements. Even though those have good aspects, there are times where Yu-Gi-Oh! Players get bored, and then they look at EDISON format and they go, this is the in-between. This is the format for all formats. It's the avatar of all formats, Konami comes out and says. And what do? They start making cards for it. They start making reprints. They understand that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Still, when the format is forcing them to not play as much Yu-Gi-Oh! They want to get involved, and Konami can see the writing on the wall. I'm going to be doing remote duel streams again. I'll probably do some on this channel. Most is going to be done on Twitch. And I'm going to be doing some with EDISON format as well as regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. And we'll see how everything goes. I'm also going to be looking to hopefully see if they do One Piece remote duels, whatever they call them. I'd love to do that here on my channel. But comment down below. Let me know. Should I do One Piece here or should I make a new channel for One Piece? Because I really like it a lot. I think it's really fun. It's something really new. And the cool thing about the One Piece card game, and once again, one of the few things Bennett has going for them, is that majority of the decks are relatively inexpensive. So you can play a really good deck for a really low amount of money. Pokemon has it the same way, by the way. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the very few games that if you want to play a meta deck, you still have to pay out the ass. Unless the deck's been reprinted to crap, in which you can play this meta deck, but it's probably going to be dead soon. Anyway, Paisanos, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below. It's your boy V. You Paisanos have a great day.